Hello everyone, we're here for another episode of the Quilters Show and Tell. And today we have Jimmy Graham. Normally he's the one interviewing, but today Jimmy is going to show his quilts. So here's Jimmy.
Thank you, Patty. I've seen a lot of quilts coming through and I thought, well, I would like to bring some of mine, so I have this opportunity and I appreciate it. First of all, I've got a quilt here that is a Dresden plate, and it goes back like to the early 1940s. My wife's grandmother quilted this and gave it to her when she was about 7 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So it goes back a long way.
Yeah.
So we have always cherished this quilt. Never used it, but we always cherished it.
Right.
And as you can see, it's something that they don't do anymore. They have she scalloped the sides, and then she left it straight in here to go up over the pillows or under the pillows.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's quilted in circles. Each one of these circles are quilted, and it shows from the back, and it almost looks like a satin lining. I'm not sure what it is, but we've cherished it for a long time, so I wanted to make sure to bring it and show it.
Well, thank you for sharing this one. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
We're back again with Jimmy showing some of his beautiful quilts. So Jimmy.
Thank you, Patty. Again, I brought this one, and the pattern, I have been told, is the crossroads pattern. I don't know, I guess because of the squares that are patterned. The history behind this quilt was, before my wife and I were married, her mother and she made this quilt. So when we got married, then my mother-in-law gave it to us as a wedding gift. So it's one of the things that I also share. And you can tell the way she quilted it in squares in the back. She followed each one of the squares and then all the way around it. So that's the beautiful thing about quilts, is the way they are quilted, regardless of how they're pieced. But this quilt goes back to the early 50s, so it's and it has been used and washed. So we used it because when we first got married, we needed it for cover, so we went ahead and used it.
Yes, sir. And I love the red trim that it's.
Yeah, that brings out she didn't use. Her favorite color was not red.
Okay.
My mother-in-law's favorite color was not red, but she used it to bring out some of the squares.
Right. Well, that's another beautiful quilt. We're back again with another beautiful quilt, and I'll have to say this is just beautiful. You want to tell us something about it?
I can give you a little bit of history on this, because this quilt was quilted in 57, 58, something like that. That's when we got married in 57. We moved into a small apartment and we didn't have a television, so we decided that we would do some quilting. So I would cut out the pieces, and Evelyn would embroider and put them on the squares. Then once we got it finished, she and her mother quilted it. So and some of the pieces, actually, some of the material actually, I think, came from the old shirt factory.
Oh,
so
okay.
Because her brother-in-law worked at the shirt factory, and I think some of the pieces came from there. And it's on the blocks are zigzags.
Oh.
So it goes back several years, and it has never been used. So it's one of my treasures that I keep in storage all the time.
And this is a Dutch doll.
It's a Dutch doll. Yes, it's known as the Dutch doll.
I love the way they've coordinated the colors. It's just beautiful.
I don't think there's any two the same. So
you can tell.
So we would work at night and sit down and place those on a card table in the living room.
Oh.
And
well, that's interesting, and another fond memory.
It is.
Being together, doing something together. And thank you for this, Jimmy.
Well, thank you.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
We're back again, and Jimmy has brought another one of his beautiful quilts. This is a baby quilt, I think, that his wife made when their son Randy was born.
Yeah, I'll give you the story on this. When she was pregnant with Randy, they gave her a baby shower, and she got this as a kit.
Oh.
So it was already quilted, so all she had to do was do the cross stitch. So she worked on the cross stitch, and when Randy was born in 57, then she brought this was the quilt that we brought him home with. So I really cherish it, and that's the only time it was ever used. she hung it on the wall once in his room, and then she decided that it was going to turn yellow if it hung there with the heat and everything. So she took it down, we folded it up, and it's been in storage ever since.
Well, that's beautiful, and I love the "Now lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep." That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it came in a kit, and all she did was the counter cross stitch.
Well, it's beautiful, Jimmy, and thanks again.
Well, thank you.
Enjoyed having you to interview.
I appreciate being able to show them.